like Donald Trump, he's a whole lot of things that we could just go on and on about. But he's in decline, like he's losing his mind,
Yes,
like
he's
very
been losing his
visibly.
mind.
I know. I mean, we
Mary
know
talks
this.
about it all the time.
Right.
Speaking of Mary Trump, she talks about it all the time, and she would know.
Right. And here's a clip of him talking about destroying ISIS. And I just want to point out that he's not living in the same reality or
No,
mental reality that the rest of
no.
us are, because he's got little people who follow him around all day long and tell him what he wants to hear. And there's
Hmm.
a bubble that he lives in, and anything else that anybody says or hears is either lying or out to get him, and then they're just like, no, 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 Mr. President, like you're right. That did happen. So here we go.
Yeah.
Right now, sir. I said, well, I don't know. That's a lot. It's a lot of people. Well, these people are not good people, sir. These are not good people. You'll feel better about it. Well, they're not good people, but they're people, aren't they? And he goes, I said, you know what? Why don't you buzz them for a little while, and maybe after a day or two of buzzing them, they'll surrender. They don't know about surrendering, sir. Well, maybe they'll raise the white flag. They don't have a white flag, sir. I said, well, give it a shot anyway. He said, all we're going to do is take a couple of bullet holes in our wings. You guys know about that, right? And I said, well, let's give it a shot. And he calls up and says, let me do the job, sir. I said, all right, do the job. And we defeated 100% of the ISIS caliphate in just a very short little period of time. Totally different from what I was told in Washington, D.C. by a bunch of frickin' losers, okay? Losers.
I can't. I can't. I can't. Okay. All right. First of all, I've actually, in full disclosure, I have been to Qatar. I've
Mm,
actually been on that base, and it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's incredibly strategically important for us launching missions into Iraq and that part of the world.
right.
Um, one of my Harvard kids is in the military. She is in intelligence, and she spent 6 months there as well as part of some of the stuff that we do there. Those folks are listening to him thinking, what the actual fuck? Because what they're doing there is very serious stuff. And he's over here blathering on about absolute nonsense. And I think was Hegseth drunk when he gave his
I
remarks?
think so.
I,
Probably.
I mean, we have a friend of ours that has a husband who is still active duty, where Hegseth was at a conference, and a lot of the special forces guys were like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? They were
Mhm.
like horrified by him with this
Mhm.
warfighter language and bullshit.
He's
It
like over his skis. I mean, they all
You
are.
think?
None of them have any idea. I mean, what little morsel of knowledge that you have is, and then you're getting up in front of people who are 10 times, 10,000 times more experienced and smarter than you and more sober than you, and you're trying to tell them how it's going to be? I don't think so.
I just don't. It's I don't know. Between that, I mean, every single time he spoke in public, he said something else